welcome the students to a brief revision for Lesson 5. Today we'll learn how to write clear, structured instructions for ICT tasks, whether guiding users through software setup or troubleshooting. Mastering instructional writing ensures tasks are completed accurately and efficiently. Let's begin. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to craft instructions that are clear, concise, and easy to follow using imperative verbs, sequence markers, and modal verbs effectively. Why are clear instructions crucial? They empower users to complete tasks independently, reduce frustration, and standardize processes. For example, vague directions like "fix it" lead to errors, while click on the start button is actionable. Instructions should follow a logical sequence, start with a command, use order markers, and include critical details. Each step should cover one action only to avoid overwhelming users. So these are the steps to follow in order to create or to craft instructions which are clear to complete the task successfully. You have to start with an introductory action. You can use imperative verbs, which are the verbs in the infinitive form. For example, click, type. You can use other verbs like, for example, type, press, write, and so on. The use of sequence markers like first, then, next, after that, finally, and other sequence markers like, for example, first, second, third, and so on. You can use them to show the order of instructions so the user won't be confused about which action or which step come first, which step come next, and so. The use of details warning as well help the reader to be conscious on using correctly or applying correctly these instructions. Now let's move to the language features of instructions. As this course is specified for language, imperative verbs like click or type are direct and unambiguous for the user. Note that the subject "you" is implied without mentioning the subject, as we have already seen in the lesson. There is no need to use the subject when we use the verb in the form of imperative. It is clearly that we are talking to the person "you." So you have to use the exact appropriate verb for the action that should be completed. Modal verbs as well clarify necessity or the optional of actions. For example, when using must, when giving an instruction, for example, you must backup data, here you show to the user that this is a strong obligation, this is a necessity, this action should be done, otherwise the task won't be completed without going through this action. However, when we use the modal verb should, for example, you should verify your email, you should verify your Wi-Fi connection before starting. So these are recommendations and this action is optional. Either you can do it or not. You can go directly to the next step, so the task will be completed successfully. The use of sequence markers are important. Why? Because they show the order of steps. For example, first turn on the device. Then here it shows what action comes after, what action comes next. And as well you can use finally to show that this is the final step in the process or in the task. There are several mistakes or common mistakes that you may fall into. So here are some of them that you need to avoid in order to give correct, appropriate instructions. Avoid these pitfalls: overly complex sentences or missing steps, details users. Instead of do the thing, say select the file menu, or clarify directly what action should be done. Avoid long sentences because the user may not understand the meaning, and avoid vague language. You should mention what should be done, using the appropriate verb and using the appropriate object. Here there is an example of instructions concerning creating a user account. For example, first go to the website. You can use then or after that click sign up. You can as well use third or after that or then enter email and password, and finally, to show that this is the final step, click submit. This was a brief revision concerning how to give instructions. Please do not forget to prepare the activities that are already given to you in the online classroom. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next lesson.